Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you who are watching the replay. We're going to talk today about this powerful total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and I can't wait to share with you the astrology because it will blow your mind, because we're going back all the way. We're going back to 2012. And we're going to talk about how these eclipses and this eclipse season is related to what happened back in 2012, because this is a 12-year cycle. So that's one of the exciting things that I'm going to share with you guys today. So make sure you stay here and watch all the way till the end. Also, let me say hi to everybody that is in the chat right now. We got Shannon in here. Welcome in. We got Boobarth. Hello. Veronica. Good evening. Nelvin. Welcome. Valerie. Melissa. Shelby, how's it going, everyone? Jennifer, Abby, SG, Rebecca, Paula, welcome. Michelle, hello, and Chrissy, welcome in, you guys. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. But before we do that, I also want to share with you that I do have a couple of awesome things going on. The first one is to make sure you download my free moon astrology guide, which tells you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. This also enters you into my email list, which is the best way to stay in contact. Social media is kind of, it's all up in the air, but the safeguard is my email list. So make sure you get on my email list by downloading that free guide. And I send out a weekly moon magic report that tells you basically the astrology and the forecast for the entire week. People love this forecast, and it comes out every Wednesday. So tomorrow will be the one that talks about this eclipse, but also talks about the rest of the week, that we have a lot of transits coming up this week too. So that's amazing. Also, The replay is now available for our free oils and astrology workshop, Essential Oils and Astrology. We did the workshop on Sunday. It was amazing. We had a blast. Now the replay is available. The workshop is available indefinitely. You can click the link in the description of this video and it'll take you to the sign up page. You just sign up, you go in there, you watch the video, and there's still time because we're doing a giveaway for the month of May. There is still time to basically sign up for the giveaway. So watch the video and then go in there and choose one of the two options that it's all in there in the course platform. So I'm really excited about that. The workshop is free. So I want to make sure you guys get an opportunity to enter the giveaway if you are interested. And we teach you in that workshop how to make oil blends for Gemini season, which we're in Gemini season now, and Taurus season, which is the most grounding and abundant kind of bringing in energy for those oils. So it's just a cool way to combine essential oils and astrology. And we're really excited because we're going to be doing these workshops once a month. Also, something new that we are going to start doing with my sister Chandra. We have our weekly The Magic of Venus show on Wednesdays. We're going to start giving you the oil of the week or the oils of the week based off of the astrology that's going on. So every week, I'm going to share with you what I think are the best oils to help us balance our energies with the transits that are coming up. That I'm like, woo, so excited. We also have the astrology oil blends, basically the series of astrology oils that we're going to soon release on our Etsy shops. And I have something really exciting coming in the mix. We're going to be designing it and creating it in June, which is going to be the essential oil line for all the star seeds. So, I can't wait. I'm getting really, really excited. So this eclipse is intense. There is so much going on astrologically that it's hard to like put it all into like a few words. So we're going to be here for a minute, but we're going to go over the astrology. I'm going to show you the charts. I'm also going to tell you where this eclipse is happening based off of your sun, moon, Venus, rising, and wherever you have Sagittarius and Gemini energy in your chart. So let's freaking get started. Hello, Paula, welcome in. Hello, Lansing. Hello, Silver Star Priestess. Hello, Louise. So there is a connection to the Mayan cycle. Yes, there is. Exactly. Hello, Traylene. Welcome in. Dawn, welcome in. You guys are amazing. Chandra Sangat in the house. All right. So those were all my little announcements. There's more. You can get readings from me on my website, but all the information is in the description. So make sure you check it out, especially if you're new. Do me a favor right now and give this video a thumbs up if you're in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you enjoy this content. Okay, so here we go. I am going to begin to share this iPad screen with you guys. So let me open my little program app and start sharing. Yes, thank you, Chandra. And make sure you guys follow Chandra Sangat. Follow her channel. She also goes live weekly and she does human design, which is another amazing system that works really well for learning about yourself. Boobarth says, I have to admit, hang on, my screen is being blocked right now. Let's do... Oh, here we go. Mark it. Okay, here we go. Boobarth says, I have to admit, I'm nervous about this 2012. Was a trying year for me. Melissa says, I'm here to find out about the Mayan connection. Yes, me too. Let's talk about it. Oh, thank you, Chandra, for putting up those emojis. So can you guys see the chart on the screen? Let me know in the chat if you guys can see the chart. We are looking at the chart of this eclipse. It's not just an eclipse, you guys. It's a full moon total lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius, which you guys know, it's a big deal. Sagittarius is a powerful sign. Sagittarius is the sign that is ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is the biggest planet. By the way, do you guys like my roses? Oh my God, I love these. These were given to me by Shannon, by the way, stories from the Lion's Mane here in the chat. Thank you, Shannon. They are like literally on my desk, in my face. They're in my face, so I can literally smell them. This makes me want to buy some more of that rose oil. But anyways, so Sagittarius is ruled by the biggest planet. So anything Sagittarius has that connection to it, which to me says big deal. This is a big deal. So Chandra says, my daughter was born 2012 and her nodes are the opposite. Oh, yes. Jupiter also equals expansion. Thank you, Chandra. Just a few degrees from your sun. Whoa, Rebecca. Whoa. Okay. So in my face. So this full moon in Sagittarius on a basic general like explanation is a fiery activation because it activates the desire to explore, to be free, to go out into the world and to learn new things. Let me show you real quick in the chart. How do you know that there is, first of all, a full moon happening? And then how do you know that it's an eclipse? These are two really cool things to know. The first one is, for a full moon, you're going to have the moon opposing the sun. So here we go. You can see moon in Sagittarius right there, making an opposition to the sun. They're exactly at the same degree, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. How do you know this is an eclipse? Because the sun and the moon most likely will be either at the exact sign of the nodes, so moon and south node in Sagittarius, sun and north node in Gemini. So when the moon and the sun are with the nodes on a new moon or a full moon, that is an eclipse. Sometimes you'll get the eclipse of the next nodal cycle, which we're going to see next year. In 6 months, what is that even next year? Not even next year. Before next year comes, in 6 months, we're going to see eclipses again. And you're going to see that one of those is actually going to be in Taurus. I cannot wait for that eclipse because that's going to be on Algol and the Pleiades. And this time is like potent, you guys. Don't miss this train. Do not miss this. This time is potent. I'm going to keep going. But that's how you know. So sometimes you'll have it in the sign right before or after the nodes because the nodes are either getting ready to change or the sun and the moon are getting ready to join. Anyways, okay. Here we go. That's on a basic level how you know it's an eclipse. This is obviously not just a full moon. This is on top of a full moon. It is a total lunar eclipse. And so the alignment happens to be, this eclipse is what we call a south node eclipse. It is going to bring things up that have to do with the south node. What is that? That's our past. That's past life karmic patterns. It's old habits. It's addictions and the things that we have not dealt with, because the things that come from the south node are like the lessons and the stories that we need to move forward, to release and learn from. We're supposed to move away from the south node. But what happens when there's a big old light shining in that area of our life? It's going to shine a light in the area of your life that is changing and transforming the most this year, because the nodes are in these signs for 18 months. So this includes all last year. From this point, a year back, they changed. So a year back, the North Node moved into Gemini. So we've been in this very mutable time. This 18 months are like a wild card. Like you don't know what's going to happen. And that's why there's so much changing in the world. Because when you have eclipses in mutable signs, it's like all hell broke loose. or you just don't know. It's like, like it's like spin the wheel. We'll see what we get, So it's pretty wild. But the fact that this eclipse also activates the next 6 months and closes the last 6-month cycle is very significant as well, because eclipses are 6-month cycles. Again, like I said, we're going to see eclipses in 6 months. We saw eclipses 6 months ago. This one activates a new cycle, but it ends the last one. So whatever was going on 6 months ago in your life is coming to completion. Can I give you a crazy example? So I've been here, living in Arizona. I moved basically 6 months ago to Arizona, and it was to this specific place that I'm at. And now literally 6 months later, this cycle is coming to a completion. I just realized that we're getting ready to leave, right? So I just realized, like, holy moly, it was like, it's over. And the universe goes, boom, we're done, time to move on. And that's kind of how it feels for me, that we might all be feeling that sense of like intense, quick, boom, it's done and it's over, because it's immutable energy. And it's like, we don't have any time to waste. Like, it can be here and there in seconds. And that's how I'm experiencing it in my life. But you may be experiencing the same completion cycle that started. We're moving to a different place, but yeah. So anyways, that is what's happening right now, right? So what was happening 6 months ago is now being completed. That's the first part that is important of this eclipse, and the fact that it's in Sag, which means that it is opening up this door to explore and shining a light on all the things that need to change. Okay, the next important thing. There are 2 fixed stars that are aligned with the nodes right now. The North Node is on a star called Aldebaran. Okay? Okay. The South Node is on a star called Antares. I mean, this is like 1 degree away, pretty much exactly on it. And because the nodes travel slow, they've been here for a minute and they're going to be here for a minute. And I'm like saying that, but I mean like for a while. So what is the duality? Because these 2 fixed stars, there's 2 more fixed stars. And basically they're found the other one is in Pisces and the other one is in Leo. But basically the Pisces one is the star. It's called Fomalhaut, but it's the star that comes through. Let's see if I can draw a vase. It is in the river of the Aquarius, right? It's like the fish that is on drinking water from the river of Aquarius. That's what makes that star the fixed star in Aquarius. Anyways, there's only 4 royal fixed stars, and these stars are seriously important, specifically Aldebaran and Antares, because when these 2 stars come together in alignment, meaning you have something on Aldebaran and something on Antares, they're exactly opposing each other degree-wise, you have an activation. This is a powerful portal. So the fact that there's an eclipse going on at the same time that there is this nodal alignment on 2 of the most powerful fixed stars adds to this wild energy and this powerful shift that we're experiencing collectively. We've been hearing about these 2 powerful fixed stars lately because they are in alignment with the nodes. So here's something significant. 12 years ago, the nodes were in Gemini and Sagittarius, but they were the opposite. The North Node was in Sag and the South Node was in Gemini. Every 12 years, you will see a nodal return. Every 24 years, you'll see the exact nodal return. So for example, if 12 years ago, North Node was Sag and South Node was Gemini, in 24 years, you'll see again, North Node Sag, South Node Gemini. But in 12 years, you'll see North Node Gemini, South Node Sag, which is what we are seeing right now. In 2012, when the eclipses were at those points, I believe I actually have a chart here. This way. Here we go. Because I came prepared. All right. Look at this. Okay. Sun, Moon, South Node, and Gemini. I should have just circled them all together. Boom. And the South Node was exactly where the Sun and the Moon are right now. And like the South and the North Node were at 5 degrees in the opposite alignment. North Node, Sag, South Node, Gemini. And they were at 5 degrees, which is exactly where this eclipse is happening, exactly at 5 degrees. Look at that. 5 and 5 for the Sun. So this is a big deal. What is even more spectacular, if we look at this was the chart from 12 years ago. It was May 20th, 12 years ago. The eclipse happened at 0 degrees of Gemini. And I've been talking about what 0 degrees of Gemini is. 0 degrees of Gemini is Alcyone, which is the main star at the heart of the Pleiades. So this was a Pleiadian activation 12 years ago. What happened a few days later, about a week later, right here, Venus made her way over to the Sun. And she was retrograde in Gemini. And this was called the inferior conjunction. But it wasn't just any regular conjunction between the Sun and Venus. This was every 9 months this happens. But this one was very particular, because it was a Venus eclipse. And this was just a few days after the actual eclipse. There was a Venus eclipse. It was where Venus literally crossed in front of the Sun, and through the, you could see it through like a special, why isn't the word coming to me? A special technology. You could see Venus crossing over the Sun. I feel like I have a picture, but I don't have. Anyways, you can look it up. Venus eclipse of 2012. And there's a picture of the Sun and then a little black dot that is Venus. And it's like it crossed over the Sun. So if you had the special equipment, you could actually see the eclipse. That doesn't happen. It only happens like, I think, every 100 years or something like that. Like, we're not going to see that ever again. And we never saw it before that time. The significance of that inferior conjunction with the Sun and Venus at 15 degrees of Gemini in 2012 was that it was the end of the Mayan calendar. That was the beginning of the what they call no time. Like, it's not defined. Undefined time. There's no longer, like, we no longer know what's going to happen from here on out. It's like, you're on your own. And that's what that meant, the end of the Mayan calendar. And the significant thing is that this was the last time we had eclipses in Gemini and Sagittarius. So these eclipses happening this year in Gemini and Sag are closing off that 12-year cycle. And the significant thing is that with the North Node now in Gemini on Aldebaran and the South Node now in Sagittarius, the tables have turned. Because the last time this happened, the South Node was on Aldebaran, the North Node was on Antares. So we need to talk a little bit about Aldebaran and Antares and what they represent to understand why it is so significant that now the North Node is on Aldebaran and the South Node is on Antares. So Aldebaran is known as, here, I'm just going to zoom in right here. Aldebaran is known as Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is the angel that is the closest to God. He represents the divine. He's the archangel of protection, purification, cutting cords. You can call on Archangel Michael to release you from all of those cords that are attached to whatever that doesn't serve you, whether it's people, entity, whatever it is that you feel you have been connecting to, that you are done, that you're ending the cycle. You can call on Archangel Michael to help you do that. Why is he able to do that? Because he has the power of God. He can clear so that you can step into your divine. And it's not just your divine, it's your divine mission, because the North Node is the purpose, is the collective destiny of the world right now. This archangel is the closest to God. It is like the North Star, the portal to the future, riding on basically the divine. Antares, at the opposite end of the spectrum, is the heart of the Scorpion. And I'm talking about constellations. Aldebaran is the eye of the bull. Okay, so there's just so much. I titled this video Revelations from the Heart of the Scorpion and the Eye of Horus, because what else the Aldebaran represents, because Aldebaran is the eye of the bull on the Taurus constellation, which means it's also feminine codes, Venus codes. So again, we see very strong Venus energy happening again here. Right now, Venus is actually in a phase called the Remembering and Embodiment phase, where right after this, the new moon annular solar eclipse in Gemini on January 10th, Venus is going to, a few days later, conjunct the moon in a beautiful conjunction that will be visible to the naked eye in the sky. I think right after the sun sets, the crescent moon and Venus right there. And that symbol, I feel like that symbol is the symbol of the Islamic flag. For some reason, we've seen the crescent moon and the little star. This is like an ancient symbol. This happens 5 times during this remembering and embodiment phase. And those are little portals that open up in terms of relationships and relating to one another. That first conjunction, that is a Stargate, and it's in my Stargates book if you're interested. There's a link in the description. I sell it on Etsy, and now it's actually half off. But that conjunction is going to be in Cancer, in the sign of Cancer, on the Sirius star system. So we just have not gotten a break from all of the fixed star alignments from the Stargates this entire year. There's a reason for that, you guys. There's a reason. We're being called to step up. Now, Antares is in the one last thing is that the eye of the bull is also the eye of Horus, right? The all-seeing eye of Horus. The Egyptian eye, that everybody knows, it's connected to the third eye. It's the all-seeing eye, right? The eye of revelation. And that's why this is tapping into that energy, is tapping into the wisdom of the universe. On the other end of the spectrum is Antares, the heart of the Scorpion constellation. Imagine the Scorpion is ruled by Pluto. So it rules the underworld. The heart of the Scorpion is where you dig the deepest into this scorpionic energy and you uncover. In a sense, it is connected to the underworld, connected to Pluto. And the truth is that this is a powerful star. It was called Magan the Great. Again, it's wisdom, but in a different way. Aldebaran is wisdom from God. Antares is wisdom from the deep underworld, the dark side, right? It's wisdom that comes through when we are in transitional phases in our lives. And this South Node, because the South Node transits through your chart, and whatever house or houses it transits through is the house where it literally empties the cup so that you have to refill it. So this is where you're experiencing the most transformation in your life. This South Node has literally been digging up the graves, bringing things out of the closets, out of our closets, so to say, and forcing us to see things about ourselves, both personally as well as in the collective, that are of the dark, the scary, the unknown, and the hidden. But with the North Node on Aldebaran, this is the star that is guiding us forward this time. Before, it was the heart of the Scorpion that was guiding us forward, right? 12 years ago in 2012. It was like all about kind of intense, those dark, deep energies that like shine a light on things that feel like, okay, that's a little bit intense. But now it's like basically God, the divine, is the North Star, which is why this is totally different than the last set of eclipses. It is the ending of that cycle, because now we've gone through the release. We've dealt with all that stuff that has come up in the last 12 years, and now we're like on the other end. Like we've walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and now we are ready to step into the light. Or are we? Right? Or are you? That's a question that you have to be asked. But with this North Node on Aldebaran, this is the star that's guiding us forward. It's the universe saying it's time to go towards your highest light, and also because the South Node is on Antares, this is when the biggest challenges are going to arise. But this is the greatest test of our time. So this is the question you got to ask yourself. Can we stick to the light while the dark tries to take over? It's both a personal thing and a collective theme. So the themes of this eclipse season extend way beyond just these 2 weeks. And that's just like on a basic level what's happening with the eclipses. There's more aspects that are being activated right now. For example, Venus and Mercury, they're conjuncting. Again, Venus is also in Gemini. And Venus, just like in 2012, Venus is in Gemini. This time she has transited in direct motion through this area. And she has aligned with Aldebaran. All these planets in Gemini are passing through Aldebaran. So it's like God, divine codes. That's why we feel like such an activation. It's either like the light or the dark. That like there's two extremes right now that is happening right now. But Venus and Mercury are actually on Orion, on one of the Orion stars, and this is knowledge. This is an activation of pure knowledge. This is also an energy of like, it's charming, it's grace, it's self-expression. And it's a like mental pleasure, because being with the divine and thinking the divine codes and the divine thoughts are like ecstasy. It's like it can be ecstasy for all of us. They will be, here's the thing, is that they will be making a square. Or they are. I'm talking about tomorrow, right? They're making a square to Neptune. So what can happen is that you can see the ecstasy. And of course, you can see this ecstasy, but at the same time, some of us may not see clearly what is going on. And so with the square to Neptune, it may feel like an illusion interferes with rational thought and an inability to see clearly unless you know exactly what to look for. And with Mercury getting ready to go retrograde, this is an important moment, because I think in a few days, literally, Mercury goes retrograde, and he's going to go retrograde in the sign of Gemini, which is its ruling sign. By the time we get to the next eclipse on January 10th, Mercury is literally going to be with the sun for that eclipse. And I'll talk about it when that comes up, but I feel like this is going to be a revising, like a remembering of our light. Right? Because retrogrades make you reflect. I feel like it's going to be a remembering our light. This eclipse is also getting T squared by Jupiter. Jupiter is squaring both the moon and the sun during this eclipse. And so this just makes it a little bit challenging for us to focus on the details. With the square to the sun, we can tend to exaggerate because we feel filled with big aspirations, which is not a bad thing, because some of us are really like legit experiencing the most epic thing in the world, right? This transit can make you feel very confident and proud and very optimistic. So ain't nothing wrong with that. This transit also implies confronting frustrations, which have their roots in your nature and attitudes, and which can only be resolved through changes. So it's asking us to make those changes. On the other side is Vesta. Vesta is known as the keeper of the sacred flame. She's one of the goddess asteroids. Right now she's in Virgo, which means that collectively, to hold that, what's holding the sacred flame is literally the Virgin, like Mother Mary. And Archangel Michael is known as the countenance of Christ. Okay, so I just can't even explain it. Vesta, the keeper of the sacred flame, is on Mother Mary, the Virgin, the purity, right? Pure purity. And the North Node and the Sun are close to Aldebaran, which is the countenance of Christ. She is actually also T-squaring the eclipse. So the significance here is one, that she's in Virgo, right? Which is that sign of purity and the Virgin. Mother Mary, Sisterhood of the Rose, Goddess Isis, watching over this entire thing, challenging us to stay again in our purity, to find our own light, to find our own purity within ourselves, and to connect to the divine, right? Not to connect to the dark. Black Moon Lilith during this eclipse is basically on the Pleiades. She's on Algol and the Pleiades. Algol is the beginning of the Pleiades. 28 degrees of Taurus is basically, that's the Pleiades area, the seven sisters. And so our independence right now, our desire for freedom, independent, that renegade spirit that is Black Moon Lilith is aligned with all of this powerful energy of the North Node and the divine. So just adding more of those feminine codes. Chiron, the wounded healer or the golden healer, is sextiling and trining the nodes. And this is activation of healing, making us face our insecurities. We saw Saturn recently go retrograde. He's actually sextiling and trining the nodes as well. Right there. And this creates a strong sense of purpose being activated as we reflect on the last 6 months since the last eclipses. And the last transit that I want to share with you before we go into the Sabian symbols, which is my favorite part, there's a yod. And the yod is a sextile between Saturn and Chiron, making a quincunx, making that finger of God pointing directly at the Virgin, directly at Mother Mary, the sacred flame in the sign of purity. Saturn sextile Chiron is a powerful aspect which exemplifies the mature and productive qualities of Saturn and stabilizes Chiron. So it's like that sense of purpose that's being activated is like balancing out with the alchemy and the magic that Chiron brings into the world. With this kind of transit, it's really important for us not to shut down the magical qualities of Chiron's ability to help us heal. Because Saturn can shut things down, can restrict things too much. But within that mature and productive quality of Saturn, we can allow space with a sextile, a balancing energy, to also activate our own healing and to continue to move forward with that healing. And this finger of God pointing at Vesta is literally saying, this is the focus. This is the focus of that mature alchemy, magical healing, like energy that's alive right now within all of us, asking us to step forward, to step up, and to be our pure selves, whatever that means for you. So the fact that it's the feminine, right? It's pointing the finger at the feminine is very, very significant. So I need to grab real quick my Sabian symbols book, and then we can go over those, and then I'll tell you where this eclipse is happening in your chart based off of your sun, moon, Venus, rising, and wherever you have Sagittarius energy in your chart, as well as go over the magical energy that gets activated when we look at the Sabian symbols. So give me 1 second. Let me go grab those books. So are you guys blown away yet? Is your mind blown yet? Yeah, seriously. Okay. My mind was blown when I was doing this earlier today. I basically just went over everything that this eclipse is activating, which is a lot. It's a lot. So we're in this portal, right? We're entering the portal. We're already in it, basically. We were in it since the last moon, since the last new moon. But we've entered this portal. This is where the energy is the most potent. But it'll continue, like I said, for the next 6 months. But then for the next 12 years, right? Because each nodal axis activates the next 12 years, or even if you go further, the next 24 years. So it's like these cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles. But this one is very particular and powerful because the last time that we found these nodes and these eclipses in Gemini and Sag was when there was that Venus eclipse where the Mayan calendar ended. We entered like no man's land. Time ended as we know it. The world ended as we know it. And we entered like a new epoch, like longer than an epoch, like a new phase. And many people are talking about how right now we are transitioning into a new astrological age. And every time that we transition into a new astrological age, what happens is there's a divide. Like there's like half of the people are like moving forward into the new energies of the new age, which means letting go of the past way of doing things. And then half the people want to hold on to what they've got for the last 2,000 some years. They don't want to let go of that. But the new people are moving into the age of Aquarius, right? The people that are willing to move forward are like letting go of the last 2,000 years because we're evolving as a humanity and we're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, so that it's very different energies, right? It's like astrology. You go from one sign to the next, it switches a lot. And so you have to be willing to let go of the past to move into the next energy. And so half of the people, that's the split in the collective that Dolores Cannon is talking about. We're experiencing it right now. And we chose to come here at this time to experience this specific transition of humanity into a new astrological age. And also you've heard me talk about the waves of volunteers. I mean, like I'm about to launch my QHHT sessions in June. You'll be able to sign up for those sessions that actually help you regress into past lives and figure things out in this lifetime, like let go of anything that you're holding on to from past lives or from past energies or earlier on from this. Because as we move into the age of Aquarius, like we can't bring any baggage. That's the thing. It's like you can't carry your baggage with you. You can't bring anything with you into the new age. And that's what we're feeling. And that's why it's such a heavy transit, because some of us want to hold on to those past things, and some of us are like, okay, I'm ready to move on and like evolve and live in a new world, right? So that's what that is. So we're going to read the Sabian symbols for both 5 degrees of Gemini and 5 degrees of Sag, and the chandra symbols to give us like the full picture, because again, we're looking at a powerful duality here. North node, South node, Aldebaran, Antares, Sun, Moon, there is a powerful portal activation right now that is very important. So we're going to start with 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and then we're going to look at 5 degrees of Gemini. So here we go. 5 degrees of Sagittarius. So we're looking at the moon right now. This is the total lunar eclipse, the energies that are with the south node. An old coach reminds each teammate of their strategic function and then sends the team back on the playing field. This is the south node, right? This is deciding upon one's old goals and coming up with the game plan how to win them. This is working with and for a group that shares one's goals. This is competition between groups with different values and goals. I mean, is that not what's happening right now? As between different clans. This is political parties or social classes. This is promoting group morale, initiating young members of the clan into the group's struggles. This is deciding whether to play by the rules or whether to go rogue, meaning dangerous or unscrupulous. This is being drawn to where the action is, thrill seekers. This is psychological acuity, seeing through other people's games. This is analytical speed, running circles around one's opponents. This is taking one's partnerships seriously. This is tests of loyalty within one's relationships, whether it's disappointment and cynicism. And this is putting together a family of people that one can trust. Okay, that's the first energy. That just blew my mind. That's the first energy. That's the Sabian symbol, energetically what's happening with the moon right now, this eclipse. The next, the chandra symbol for 6 degrees of Sag is this: a pair of shoes with live wings on each. Mercury, mythologically, is the god that has winged sandals. To delight in pursuit is never to get there, but to enjoy the ride all the way. To identify with flight is to run from what is dense and heavy and to deny the pain of earth. And to dream of a personal limitlessness is to stay out of realities that bind. The longing and the craving, the fantasy and the vision are everything here. And as you perpetuate illusions, you feel no pain. Somewhere you are convinced that the very best thing is to be free, and that to fall for linear progression is to be a fool. Everything you know and follow is true in worlds beyond and false in the dense immediacy of Earth experience. The Leo King has been talking a lot about purgatory, getting stuck. Like he says that the two divides are purgatory or heaven, that some people are going to get stuck in purgatory. Some people are going to go to heaven. And this reminds me of that. I'm going to read this one again because these are like poems. This is very poetic and you can get so much out of them. A pair of shoes with live wings on each. To delight in pursuit is never to get there, but to enjoy the ride all the way. To identify with flight is to run from what is dense and heavy and to deny the pain of earth. And to dream of a personal limitlessness is to stay out of realities that bind. The longing and the craving, the fantasy and the vision are everything here. And as you perpetuate illusions, you feel no pain. Somewhere, you are convinced that the very best thing is to be free, and that to fall for linear progression is to be a fool. Everything you know and follow is true in worlds beyond and false in the dense immediacy of Earth experience. Like, whoa. Whoa. That's crazy. Crazy. Yes, everything is happening now simultaneously. So let's look at 5 degrees of Gemini. The Sabian symbol for 5 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is the energy of the North Node, the sun. A dentist displays utmost concentration as he drills a tooth for the benefit of a class of dental students, tuning out the reactions of both the crowd and the patient. This is perfecting a mechanical skill through practice, exhibiting utmost concentration even in the midst of a chaotic situation. Getting into a rhythm in one's work versus being thrown off by interruptions. This is about focusing, you guys. Taking on an irksome job and seeing it through to completion. This is the skillful use of machines and instruments, including musical instruments. This is putting one's heart into one's job versus mechanical performances which have become absurd in their detachment from their framing purpose. This is tuning out destructive criticism versus rationalizing moral shortcomings, desensitizing oneself in emotionally damaging situations versus allowing oneself to dehumanize others. This is backing off when people become uncomfortable versus sadistically pressing one's point. Confident, exemplary performance based on technical mastery. To me, that says that this is a time of precision and focus, full on, where you are connected with your heart space. And that's the energy of the sun with the North Node during this eclipse. And the chandra symbol for 5 degrees of Gemini. A claw foot holding a ball. A claw foot holding a ball. The self project. Putting yourself through your paces. Behind it all, the steady gaze of commitment to outlast your own folly. Steely determination to come again to a place of freedom and commanding presence. The process is lacerating. Any illusions, all fragmentations become played out and worked out under pressure. Staying with yourself throughout and knowing how to orchestrate vast shifts by surrounding yourself with light. The prenatal resolve to put behind you every limit, no matter what it takes. I'm getting chills. You come from such implacable will that every vagary is goad and challenge. The heroic venture of moving from tangles and snarls into clean, classical lines and reliable and sound performance. Tackling the impossible with relish and elan. Let's read that one again. A claw foot holding a ball. The self project. Putting yourself through your paces. Behind it all, the steady gaze of commitment to outlaw your own folly. Steely determination to come again to a place of freedom and commanding presence. The process is lacerating. Any illusions, all fragmentations become played out and worked out under pressure. Staying with yourself throughout and knowing how to orchestrate vast shifts by surrounding yourself with light. The prenatal resolve to put behind you every limit, no matter what it takes. You come from such implacable will that every vagary is goad and challenge. The heroic venture of moving from tangles and snarls into clean, classical lines and reliable and sound performance. Tackling the impossible with relish and elan. Those are the Sabian and the Chandra symbols of this powerful moon. These are the energies that are activated right now, and it never fails to blow my mind when I see and hear the Sabian and the chandra symbols. It never fails to blow my freaking mind that that's exactly what we're experiencing and seeing in the world. So tell me in the chat if you're an Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus rising, or you have strong Sagittarius, wherever you have strong Sagittarius. Antinicipity, exactly. The mantra, the thunderbolt mantra, exactly. But if you are an Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus rising, this eclipse is happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. This means the moon is in your 9th house. So the activation, what's lighting up for you is the shift in perspective, the opening of your mind, the moving forward into more powerful understanding and a higher perspective of your life, of where you're at, of where you want to go, of what you want to explore, what you need to let go of, the belief systems that you need to let go of in order to move towards the light. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This eclipse is happening in your 8th house of death, change, and transformation. The moon and the south node are creating this transitional phase. The moon is lighting the light into what has been changing for you. The process, the walking through the valley of the shadow of death for you is very tangible, and you're releasing and removing and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. This is the culmination of it. The last 6 months are coming into completion. And with this eclipse, you're going to find a new light shining your way out of the darkness. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Venus rising. This eclipse is happening in your 7th house of relationships. The moon with the south node in the 7th house is lighting up everything that's literally falling apart, every tower moment that you've experienced in your relationships, all of the people that you've had to say no to, that you've had to put up your boundaries with, all the relationships that have ended and are now becoming new. This entire transformation that you've been experiencing is coming to light. It is showing you the completion of the last 6 months and helping you to move towards the light. Let go of those people that do not align with your higher self, because the north node is in your 1st house and you have to shine your light no matter what. Right now is not the time to walk all over people or let people walk all over you. Right now is not the time to make adjustments for other people. This is the time to think about you and your own light. And if the relationships in your life do not match where you're at, this is going to shine a light on what's not working so that you can complete letting go. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This eclipse is happening in your 6th house of work, being in the present moment, connecting to the Virgo energy, the virgin energy, your own purity. Daily schedule. So like what you do on a daily basis, what you spend your time doing on a daily basis. The moon is like, hey, what are you doing with your life? Are you staying present? Don't run away from the things that need to change, from the things that need to be released and let go of. The 6th house is what you see in the everyday life. It's being right here, right now, and it's fucking raw and it's intense, but you have to trust that the light is showing you, okay, this is how much change has happened in the last 6 months, and now it's time to walk towards the light, to let go of that phase that has now ended and has been completed, and to move towards the north node, which is in your 12th house of activating your divine energy. Like Cancer, the north node in the 12th house is saying you need to listen and trust and walk towards your path, your purpose, your destiny, but this is your light, your divine. So having the eclipse cycle in the 6th and 12th house is challenging because it is the house that like shows you real life, like what's going on right now versus your potential. So that's for Cancer. Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This eclipse is happening in your 5th house of creativity, passion, romance, children, karmic things in terms of romantic relationships and relationships with your children or any kind of children, whether you're a parent or a co-parent or, any kind of parent at all. These karmic relationships are somehow working their way through. And you are seeing with a very bright light shining in your area of this activation, which is about, are you in your full creative power? Are you in your full passion? Are you in yourself? Because Leo, you are the sun, and you are experiencing this activation and letting go of old ways of creating things and bringing things into your life and manifesting things into your life and new ways of doing it. So for you, the focus is on remembering that right now, what you need is to focus on your inner light, to focus on your solar plexus, to focus on those gut feelings, that intuition that will guide you forward. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is happening in your 4th house of the home and family. And the moon, the area of the moon, which has to do with the energy of the mother and the sacred feminine as well, the high priestess, all of these activations are going on. But you are, in terms of relationships, you're letting go of family members that no longer serve you, relationships with family. Maybe you have moved. Maybe in the last 6 months, you moved somewhere and now you're moving somewhere else. Maybe this whole area of your life is changing. In the last year, it's been like the south node has been kind of pummeling through and saying, let go of that, let go of that, let go of that. And now the moon is like, okay, there's a cycle that has been completed and now you have to see it, like eyes wide open for everybody. Eyes wide open, because there's something powerful that's changing and you're getting ready for like a whole new whatever home is to you. You're going to find a new home. You're going to, whether it's moving or whether it's an energy, a new home that is created through energy where you feel more comfortable with yourself. And that's what's happening for you, Virgo. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This eclipse is happening in your 3rd house of communication, of the high priestess, of siblings, but also of speaking your truth. So Libra, right now, you are like ending a 6-month cycle. This is especially for Libra rising. You're ending a 6-month cycle where now you are ready to speak your truth. Now you are ready to be in your sense of self. And you can't be afraid to speak. You can't be afraid to share your true voice. Who you truly are is coming through. So watch out, everybody, because Libra is going to start talking and expressing themselves. And that's what they need to do right now. So whatever cycle started 6 months ago that had to do with how you were communicating and how you're saying things in the world is now reaching that completion. So you can find your light and move towards the light, which means move towards the North Node in Gemini, which rules the 3rd house, which means fully in your truth, fully. Mind, body, spirit. You can't run away from it. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is happening in your 2nd house of values, material possessions, your own sense of self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, how much you value yourself, Scorpio. The moon is lighting up. The last 6 months have been about processing and figuring out, letting go of the old ways of bringing things in, manifesting things, letting go of your old value system and bringing in a whole new value system. Now you find yourself, hopefully, if you've done the work in the last 6 months, you find yourself at a place where when the light shines into this area of your life, you feel, okay, I know what I need to do next. I know my value. I know my worth. I know what I'm doing next. I feel confident. This is a place of confidence. And then it allows you to speak your truth, because Taurus also rules the throat chakra. Just like Gemini has throat chakra energy, so does Taurus. So the second house being ruled by Taurus is about you also coming into your truth and into a new sense of value for your life. So this is a whole new experience. You can now do things in your life that you didn't know you could be for you. Now you're ready to attract that abundance. Move towards the light, right? The light is in your 8th house. So go for those resources. That's what you need to focus on. Focus on resources, things coming in that are making your value more. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Of course, this eclipse is going to be intense because it's happening in your 1st house of the self-identity, your body, your physique, the way you look, how you express yourself through your personality, who you are, basically. And the moon is like, all right, the last 6 months have been a powerful journey for you to reinvent yourself. And now that cycle is coming to completion. So the universe is saying, what did you do? What did you change about yourself? Where are you now? Who are you now? Are you who you feel like you are? Are you yourself? Or is your inner world reflected in your outer world? Do you feel like what's inside is what you can share with the world? Because you should. Because moving towards your light, your divinity, is about letting go of the old you and embracing the new you. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This full moon is happening in your 12th house. And this is the house of divinity. So for Capricorn, this is the other sign, right? Cancer and Capricorn are having this duality in the 6th and 12th house, which is that duality that makes things kind of challenging, because it's like either it's you and the infinite, right? It's your life and the infinite. These are the two areas of life. That's heavy stuff. But for you, Capricorn, the eclipse is shining a light. For you, it's interesting because the 12th house is the house of hidden things, hidden enemies, the infinite, whatever your dreams are, your aspirations, the subconscious, things hidden in your subconscious. It's like a QHHT session for Capricorns right now. So if you're especially Capricorn rising, you're seeing through the subconscious, you're seeing what's in there. But the cycle that was activated for you is ending now, and it's saying, okay, let's shine a light. How far have you come in terms of your connection to God? Whatever you define God as, where are you in that space? Have you awakened a new sense of like connecting with your own divinity? Because that's where this eclipse is shining a light. And so letting go of also things that no longer serve you, that have been cycles that are hidden deep within the subconscious. This is the time to let go of those cycles and then move towards the light, which means for you, the North Node in the 6th house, focusing on your everyday life, channeling that energy through your daily life, through what you do on a daily basis. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, this eclipse is happening in your 11th house. This is friends, sharing your gifts with the world. This is also the people in your life, the networks, right? Like this is the people, the world, basically, everyone else, your individuality, your uniqueness. So this moon is shining a light and saying, how have you stepped into your power? Because for you, the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So this is a place that feels comfortable for you, but somehow you've been asked to change either who your friends are or who which group of people you align yourself with, which values of people you align yourself with. You have been changing all of that, especially Aquarius rising. And now you're being asked to see the world in a completely different way, to see people in a completely different way, to maybe share new gifts. Maybe you've discovered some new gifts and through this transition of the South Node in your 11th house, and now you're ready to shine your light in the 5th house by channeling your creativity with the world. And last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This eclipse is happening in your 10th house. So this is all about career, life path, showing up. So how are you showing up? A lot has changed for you in the last 6 months and also in the last 12 years, but a lot has changed for you, especially when it comes to your life path, your mission, how you're showing up in the world, and what you consider career-wise. But mostly I like life path better. Are you doing what you came here to do? What, at the cusp of your 10th house, you have Sagittarius, which means that you're here to somehow be in the limelight, explore the world, push through new horizons. But what you thought were new horizons have now changed. The idea of what you thought was a new horizon is completely different now, because that South Node transit through the 10th house is like, break down the walls, break down the walls. Whatever you thought was here was not true. And now it's like, okay, how much work have you done? The moon is shining that light in this area of your life. Where are you at in terms of career? Where are you at in terms of your life path? Do you feel ready to fully show up in the world, and especially fully show up at home and where you feel the most comfortable? Because the transit that has been going on in your 10th house is breaking down career world for you and asking you to focus a little more on home and family and in your loved ones and your connection to your emotions and relationships that have to do with the sacred divine feminine. So that is for Pisces. So whoa, that was a lot. And I was not looking at the chat, but I definitely was channeling all that information. I feel a little drained right now after that. But I am so happy to be of service to you guys and to share these things with you. You have no idea how much it helps me to know that I can provide this information and for the collective to receive it, whoever needs to hear it. So if you feel called to share this video with someone, please share it out. If you're here, you find yourself for the first time on this channel, please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you're in the chat, there should be 53 likes on this video because there are 53 people watching right now. I love you guys so much. Please make sure to get on my email list by downloading your free moon astrology guide, which is in the description. The link is in the description. You still can sign up for the replay of our essential oils and astrology workshop and find out how to make Gemini season oil blends and Taurus season oil blends. If you're a Gemini or a Taurus, Gemini moon, Taurus moon, whatever you got, Venus, whatever planet, you can work with these beautiful blends that we teach you how to create. In this workshop, it's free, and we also give you an opportunity to sign up for an amazing giveaway where we're going to give away this beautiful oil that's called Forgive, which is like perfect energy for right now. Forgive and surrender and move forward in life. So there's other things. If you want me to do a reading for you, go on my website. I just released my composite chart readings. Those are now available on the website. I am going to be doing a sale this weekend. So Memorial Day weekend sale. I'm going to do a little three-day window, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know exactly what the sale is going to be, but all of my readings are going to be on sale, and my Etsy items are going to be on sale for this weekend only. So the window will be this weekend for you to sign up for stuff. So starseed readings, composite chart readings, natal chart readings, love astro compatibility readings, transit readings, deluxe readings, like everything that I offer, and even the QHHT sessions. I don't think those will be on sale, but everything else will be on sale. And I can't wait for you guys to kind of hop in and enter this magical world of astrology and help me guide you in your life wherever it is that you need it. So again, thank you everyone so much. We'll see you tomorrow for same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for the full moon total lunar eclipse ceremony in Sagittarius where we're going to do a collective reading. I'm going to pull the cards. I'm going to play some beautiful music for you guys. We're just going to be in this sacred space together. So enjoy tonight. Most of us probably won't sleep, but enjoy the night. Take pictures of that beautiful moon. Let it, activate you, feel that shift. And if you missed the beginning of this video, definitely watch the replay because it is some powerful stuff. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Triple Moon Goddess, Silver Star Priestess, Vixie Pixie, Valerie, Veronica, Shannon, Chandra, Nelvin, Eliza, Paula. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you again tomorrow, same time. Epic story. Bye, you guys. See you next time.